is because right now,
ladies and gentlemen,
the final game.
One final time. Can we make some noise? This is it. $1.5 million to be decided right here, right now. The battle bus has started. Thank the bus driver. Good luck. Have fun.
Now, like you said, this is Game 7, the last bus trajectory for the entirety of Summer Skirmish. 8 weeks straight. There's a top left to bottom right. It's a pretty even spread, a clear cut across the entire map. You get to see another even spread, players dropping in. I expect, I just got to say this, Nick Merckx versus Aiden, the final round. This might be it. We'll see.
And this could be the most important. You know, they're both close to the scoreboard right now, but, you know, a big thing from Nick could make all the difference. Vape Jesus is wearing the Black Knight mask. IRL.
In real, challenge. I don't
think that adds any extra armor.
He's got pizzazz, that's for sure. You see Lenine going down.
Does he have the headset on too? No. He's just going for it. Okay. Interesting play.
Tilted tower, or sorry, lucky landing. We'll see if this pays off for him. Speaking of Aiden and Nick Merckx, we already got crowd cheering here as soon as Aiden shows up on the screen, and there you go. Whoa, a lot of people. Barnell just crunch. You got Nick Merckx inside the main building. He always drops to, and early rockets for Aiden is going to be pretty important, especially if nobody else has shield yet. And speaking of the devil, there we go. He's going to have a full shield. He can swap weapons out. He's going to get that and green AR. Clingers on the ground too as an option to fill the last slot. Flower on the outside. Some C4, switch to attack, shotgun shot. Whips a little bit left and right. A body shot, there we go, 33 as well. He's got to be low, and there it is. Bozy goes down, 38 HP left for Flower. He does have a little bit.
You think Crashy's going to sprint
that
on over, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Saf, who has always been landing at the top of Valhalla or Viking Village here, does it yet again. Drum gun on the ground. He's got Jumpman nearby. Does have a health advantage.
There's a rift there too, so no matter how long this fight plays out, Jack, they can go to the last second, and whoever's left can escape.
Tenpo just eliminated Nice. Here's a look at Kevy in a shotgun engagement. The tack not coming out on top quite yet. It's actually a battle with Tenpo, who has one elim so far. Kevy is as weak as he could possibly be, and there's another elim for Tenpo.
We were just talking about up at the Lynx crashing, did push on that fight on Flower and got the elimination as well. You got Aiden fighting a little box on the outside here. Rotating around with somebody who's dropping in from above. A lot of damage, and Sakairos gets the elimination on Aiden early, which means no more final round. Rex sees Sakairos out in the open, and
this is what happens with Tilted when there's this many people landing here. It's a completely different ball game, as you've got to be worried so much about these third-party engagements. But oh my goodness, since we last checked in here, Jumpman looted 2 chests and actually got full shields from it, which will now give him a huge health advantage over Sap. Sap's got to be worried about this one now. As again, he's stuck at just around 100 HP flat.
The Tilted Rex, who just got that outside elim. He was watching the fight go down, now looking for tendons. Probably heard the trap go down inside. Not necessarily the best time to push. This is air-cooled TV. Some shots, jump shots on Boyer right there. Down in Lucky Landing gets his first elimination for the game. Back up top, Saf. We were just watching this. Jumpman, most likely still full shield, full HP. Hysteria, I believe, in the feed. Just got an elimination with a fall. Must have dropped someone off of a structure. Tap, get a shot there. Jumpman, the laser from the green drum gun, gets his first even.
And honestly, that's the big difference. He got all that extra shield, pushes on up to Sap, and the game kind of ends shortly thereafter for him. Here's Rex still in Tilted. That epic scoped assault rifle.
Static Bartnologist, I would bet Nick Merckx is still inside the big gray tower.
Wouldn't have it any other way. Really farming up this RV to get as many materials as possible now. If you're Rex, you've got to be so worried because you know all eyes are on him right now. Cheeky to even break that for just another 13 brick. That actually lets him build 2 more structures.
You see in the top right how close these two players are rotating against each other, just trying to figure out what angle the other is going to come from, where the best position to push to is going to be.
And this was Dakota. If you remember, Tenpo was around here who had 2 elims, so he was, oh my. Look, he even said it. Wow. And I can tell you right now, Tenpo, not a happy camper, as there is perfect accuracy coming on in.
Now this is the very southeast corner of the map. You can see kind of in your mini map there. An interesting thing about this building is there's a basement underneath. You could be on the roof, you could be inside, but a section of it drops down one more time, and there's actually a chest spawn in there. So you might have a player hiding inside, and this is a launch pad kind of sneakily hiding. He's gonna back out of this. I think the threat of the zone potentially too much for Rico. Even he's at 150, which is fine. He could have taken the engagement, but
you mentioned FaZe Tenfo getting eliminated. FaZe Replays just got knocked out of this one as well. Bartonologist, Tendons, Ecstatic, all around. Big Gray, this is Hysteria with Explodes. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Okay, Explodes don't connect, but
that
either way, knocks him down.
On the feet.
And here's
Wheels.
CBK Flame getting dropped on out of this one.
Now, that shot, that angle we had on Tilted Towers, I did not see Nick Merckx running around.
Yeah,
I'm not sure
I'd love to hear an update on exactly
not.
where he stands.
Nick Merckx and 82 players we've watched the story of develop over the course of this final week of Summer Skirmish. Wheels coming out of Lucky Landing with 2 eliminations. One more is going to get him a point and put him in a better position.
As Wheels is rotating towards Lucky Landing, he's got to go the opposite way. Here's Levake. Only 35 health, but gets the headshot onto Hysteria. And that'll end Hysteria's day. He was just on the outskirts of the top 20. So I believe he'll fall just short of earning some of that extra prize money.
Now, Courage, some of these players, do you think they're going to make, since this is the final game, they're going to make decisions based solely on that? They're going to maybe play it a little bit differently than they would have any of the previous games?
I would think so. I mean, if you're one of those people that literally is still at 0, I feel like you kind of go for it in some scenarios. Yes, 3 points would be enough to move you towards a victory royale, but as we've seen, those are... I feel like you kind of go for it in some scenarios. Yes, 3 points would be enough to move you towards a victory royale, but as we've seen, those are, you can't rely on getting a victory. Like you could try to play for it, but the way that the end of these games are and how all these rotations are with 40 people in these small areas, I'd almost rather play a little bit more aggressive and get get 5 elims maybe and then a top 10 than having to worry about getting a victory royale to get 3 points.
Diggy and his opponent basically trying to mix it up, going up and down against each other. Fuzzy and you see Landjock, both of them kind of just stacked in the same box. It's like they're roommates right now, and nobody wants to rotate. Kind of had a spin around angle there, watching just how many people are very distant from them, which means, I mean, there's not necessarily a chance of a third player coming in that engagement, but neither of them want to fight anybody. I think he's going to have to wall himself in. The rocket coming in kind of exposes his opponent inside the same structure. It's time for one of them to engage the other. Everything was blown open there, and it was Nibs that shot, I believe, that rocket. You see Amon's in front of him as well, but the zone is kind of it's the player that's going to push everybody along. Still probably the most efficient eliminator of the entire weekend.
Diggy just breaking through structures. He wants this elim so darn bad. He doesn't even have mats. It's like an all-in sort of thing right here from both players, as there's also Wheels still here who's bandaging. For Diggy, technically right now, he's at 1 elim. If he somehow cleans up Kayun and then Wheels tries to go for the trade, and he can get the second elim there as well to put him at 3, but as I say that was his last wall. He's done for. Wheels and Kayun now just on the opposite sides of these walls from each other.
Back and tilted, still inside the safe zone from the last rotation, but it's going to be time to move out soon. Takata catches a player, a couple taps on the shield. Moving out of that big gray tower to the new building. There's a lot of planks in there, as we've seen in the past. Players can come out of here with all sorts of resources, and that's Morgoth. Nades coming in, though. Takata's got to rotate out of his build structure. There's a ton of loot on the ground here. There's I believe that was a gold double barrel. It is. I wonder if he's going to go back for it. It's such a commonly picked up weapon in these scrimmage games. Oh, look for a shot. Hit this thing is on the jump. I'd lose my mind.
Players impulsing to the close mountain. He's going to try to follow this build and get shredded on down. There goes 38 of his shield. He'll pop that big shield potion to go ahead and get back up towards 185. He's got to be worried about the person on his close mountain. Here's a replay. Here was the last one we got onto Ecstatic, and well, it looks like it doesn't get much easier than this, as Ecstatic was, yeah, 1 bullet. That epic legendary, or sorry, that epic assault rifle, not epic legendary, with the quick elim there. 2 elims for himself so far, 54 players remaining. He's still in tilted, but this zone so far pushed west. Only 1 player alive right now, currently has 3 eliminations.
Those wheels. Now this next circle, Courage, is basically centered on that villain base, or Valhalla, the Viking village up on top of the mountain. So you kind of got Greasy on the edge, you've got Snobby on the edge, and the sports complex. But there's a lot of open area with just sprinkling of trees, which means you're going to see a lot of structures pop up as the main defense method to feed their poach, securing another elimination. We've got multiple players now. I believe Takada's at 3 elims. Wheels eliminated 53rd this game, but a handful of them still sitting on 2 eliminations. Chris, FPS, Lassius, Levig, and Sofa all have 2 eliminations and are still alive, which means 1 more for any of them. Is a point game on. They can snoot off.
Gosh, Bartologist was on the receiving end of these explodes. Trying to survive on through, does get a ton of damage down onto FPS. Thankfully for him, he's got minis, he's got a big shield. He can go ahead and get back up towards 120 HP. Bartologist will take the time to stop and medkit, and you see Blind trying to be the third party that engages on here. He's pushing forward. Blind can pay spoiler for both these players here. One on the opposite side of this wall. He's been tagged once. There's the shots coming on in. First elim now for Blind, the second player peeking from above. Will this work out perfectly for Blind? You can't tell as of yet. To FPS at 121, and that's a big tag with that heavy shotgun. Oh, out of the sky. As the crowd erupts there, that's his 3rd elim to FPS, getting on the board.
A very good shot there on Blind on the way down. We've got Landjock rocking the power cord still. Trying to rotate his way inside. The Storm's going to push him 40 seconds roughly. 42 players remaining in this final game of the Summer Skirmish.
ARMO at 9.
Basically nothing.
Mats at basically nothing as well. This is, again, an all-in type play. When this zone closes, it'll begin hitting for 2 as well, and they still have a ways to go to reach safety. He's taking so much time for this.
It's a big play here for only a 2nd elimination. He probably should have stayed ahead and just kept moving with his zone, unless he was afraid of the player.
He's not even making a move on it. He's got to go.
Unless his opponent has some form to heal HP, this is going to be a wash potentially.
And he just bounce padded up. And here, look, it's going to start hitting for 2. I mean, I don't think there's any way he makes this. Oh, gosh.
Chasing another player behind him.
He's just looking for the limit at this point. And don't get me wrong, this guy's totally weak, but this was not worth it.
Too high of a chance. Tendon is going to go down. Tendon's actually going to make it out of this scot-free. Landjock throws himself the fall damage at 10 HP. The head nod from Tendon saying, yeah, the Storm can have you, and I'm going to stay alive. This is a top-down view. Takada getting his 3rd elimination on Bandit for his point in the 7th match. Nibs dropping down. He's got a decent setup for weapons here. No splodes left, but he does have a chug jug, and he's going to take the 15 seconds right now.
Look at that build battle.
Now's the time to do it. He's got, and he just barely adjusts and stops it.
He moved a little bit too far, and now Levake will shoot him down. So
honestly, that adjustment might have saved him. The angle from that rocket, he scooted just barely down the stairs. The blast radius, he moved just outside of it. Didn't get the chug jug off, but I'd rather that than get eliminated.
It's going to be a greasy ending with the Valhalla / Viking village still in play on the top of that mountain. And he's going to stop again and try to chug jug. You see Liquid Chap just got eliminated. Rough day for Liquid Chap up to this point in regards to elims, but at 3 points, I think he still may have gotten himself near that top 20. We'll obviously check the full standings after this game is all said and done.
Ranger eliminated by the Storm as well in the feed there. 34 left, 30 seconds till the next circle. And we've got a big stack of players on the south and southeast edges of that mountain. That's a lot of players that are going to build up those little bases. In fact, we can see a top-down view of the minimap. I'm going to be honest with you, so many of these little arrows aren't even moving. They're just spinning in circles.
Yep. Everyone is more than content with just staying alive for this time. Takada already with 3, looking to add more limbs to his game. Here comes the zone. Once this one closes, the Storm will hit for 5. And that's when it really begins to start taking its victims.
There we go, the Storm's going to start to push. Very few players are still remaining outside the circle. Everyone's pretty much already established themselves. You see there on the left side of your screen. You got one player flying in from the east side, trying to get inside the safe zone, but there's not going to be a whole lot of gatekeeping. This is going to come down to the last few circles here, this final game.
Good catch from Takada, dropping on in. There's still this crate here. I'm wondering if someone tries to loot it.
I think that's what this push specifically was for, these shots. The shotgun shots and immediately catching yourself midair is incredibly fast gameplay.
Oh gosh, he's getting shot from a third party.
Storm 44. He can squeeze his way in here in just a second, depending on the position of the Storm. He doesn't really have a whole lot here. 289 metal left. That's not necessarily going to be enough to push his way in. Depends on the choice of this third player whether to continue to engage. Based on the damage
and the campfire, though.
And here you go. I was talking about it a second ago. These are all the little pods. Everyone's decided to build their apartment complex here, basically.
Play for the late game. Morgoth staying in. Everyone just sitting still. Tfue still in this game as well. Sam, Joystick, 31 players left. Look at the materials for Ghost Bizzle here, too. Almost 1,400 to work with. Pretty solid spot, and he's got to like his inventory as well. He's got the rare drum gun, rare assault rifle. Obviously, the tac shotgun may not be the best, but he's got 10 minis.
There you go. The next circle, honestly, pretty much nobody inside, so everybody's going to have to rotate to that southwest edge. A bit of cliff play, some water, barely any water in play here of the next circle, but everybody's got to move. And Bizzle, along with a number of other players, are going to take the opportunity very early, get ahead of the rest of the crowd. Just over 60 seconds remaining. Third-party shots going to happen like that. Bizzle's got any player that rotates early is going to get tapped at. The goal there, people are looking for their first, second, even third elimination, trying to get as many points as they can. But man, early movement, getting ahead of the game, especially as we've watched these games develop over the course of the day, it's always paid off. Poach, player we've had our eyes on quite a bit, hiding down here underneath. They have those catacombs, a number of different little compartments to hide in, making it more difficult for his opponents to track him as he moves. Bizzle rotating back in. He's going to run potentially into Poach's structure here, probably to his front left in just a second. Opponents to track him as he moves. Bizzle rotating back in. He's going to run potentially into Poach's structure here, probably to his front left in just a second, depending on his decision to keep moving. He's going to build right at the edge of the zone. A great choice, too. He has a chance now to look out any windows he can edit and just take pop shots if he has enough ammo. People, Merchman getting Elastis in the feed with a fall 28 meters. Looks like he dropped out a structure that had been built up. And here you go. The very edge. We get a little bit of water in here, but Kutrain getting shot at by Morgoth, one of our leaders.
See, now the question is Nate Hill still alive? Because we know Morgoth and Nate Hill were kind of two of the top fighting for those spots.
First and second before this.
Morgoth still in this. No points are in this game, though.
30 players remaining.
Takada gets dropped so low on HP. He's having a bandage. Sam just sitting right on the edge of that mountain. Looks like someone's flying through the air trying to drop on down. Everyone's going to have to get off that mountain now. 30 players left in our final game of the Summer Skirmish. Again, when this game is over, things will be calculated and we will know where everyone stacks up to see what chunk of the prize money they'll be taking home of the 1.5 million. Now, if you're wondering what these fast edits are, he's basically letting the metal repair so we can see through it for moments like this. Quickly edits out, makes a window, edits out again.
Tfue in the feed, eliminating Takada, one of our higher elimination players this game. FPS getting sprayed from the side. He's got the layer because there's multiple players in here. I believe the one he was just shooting him was spinning like a top.
Got a second to live. That was on the base soldier. 28 players left now.
Morgoth's trying to establish his third elim. This is FPS with 5.
Morgoth again
does get the third elimination on FPS. That's a point for him. Ripmate here hanging out on the very edge of the circle. And the feed tendons take Strugs out. Gorilla gets Fulmer from TB.
Morgoth gets another. So 4 limbs for Morgoth. Expanding on the lead he had. It's going to take some incredible performances at the end of this to potentially dethrone him. And here's a look at everybody right now. Morgoth's close, I believe, towards obviously even more points in top 10. Poach moving into this next zone.
You've got a number of players close to the cliff, too, building up towers. They have top-down views of pretty much everything. You can wait and bide their time. We had just for a second there, I believe Fade was up on the outside. You see Tfue moving in the back corner. 23 left, 35 seconds. very fast builds, trying to establish basically any structure he can.
Oh, no. It's a heavy tag. Down to just 78 health, and again, that audible, you can tell when the shields are gone. That's Envy Gorilla, who he's in a build battle with right now. Both players couldn't be further from the zone, which could be their downfall in the next few moments as the zone begins to move. Coming down to our final couple circles. Sam dropping down. He finally just left his little huts that he's been in forever, it seems. Marksman still in this as well. Ghost Bizzle still with a decent amount of materials.
Here we go. The storm's starting to move. You've got only a handful of players outside the zone, including one flying in right now. I believe there's 3 or 4 more that still need to get inside the safe zone. So everyone else of the 23 players, the rest of the field is already established inside the safe zone. So players like Poach, you see, they're going to take tap shots at anybody that catch moving because it's the count of players that's going to be is very low.
Remember, only top 10 earn an extra point. There's a look at everybody moving. Sam gets dropped on down. Tendons is one shot as well. Fade still keeping the high ground at max HP. Morgoth now at 5 elims.
Fade picking up an elimination, the feed. That high ground advantage paying off there, Morgoth. 5 elims trying to push up top.
Stop and use this slurp.
This will cap him off if he gets the entire slurp ticks. He'll be back to 100-100.
Morgoth is hungry, looking for more. The next zone about to be in play. Joystick still playing the high ground. You got C9 Kriz there as well. Marksman around the middle of those builds. Looking at weak tendencies.
Morgoth took a little bit of damage in there. Use the campfire to try and push up his HP so that the slurp, like we talked about before, it ticks up your HP first. It refills that and then switches over to shield. But his hope was to try and get every single point he could out of it.
Joystick one in this game. Top 19 right now. Everyone moving. Poach using as little materials as possible. The sign of a great player, making sure he makes the most of all these late game builds. He's basically positioned himself perfectly for this next zone as he begins the builds. Everyone having to move. He's got one just in front of him. It's Morgoth of all people. 72 hours nearby as well. Poach inching forward, gets tagged heavy. He'll place a trap too. Come on, run on in if you'd like.
18 players left, 10 seconds till this thing closes, and then we find out what direction they're going to have to go next. Morgoth, 5 eliminations still.
Look at his inventory. 860 bullets in a minigun. He can spray this forever.
Almost gets caught off guard. The edit there, bit back just a little bit. He's very low on materials now. Only 20 hours left.
Just got dropped by the storm. More fights going on around.
14 players.
14 players remaining. It all comes down to this. You see it. Look at everybody.
Fade going down to the bottom of the screen. 13 players left.
Kriz goes down to cease. Marksman still alive. Tfue still up as well. Poach just hiding in his little box, and Triz the most HP left in the lobby at max 200. Morgoth has so much firepower, but not a lot of materials and shields. It's making it have to second guess these decisions.
11 players left. The final match, Game 7 of the Summer Skirmish. In the rotation, everybody's got to go west.
Everyone's got to move. Here we go, folks. It's all going to develop quickly.
Right in front of Morgoth.
Tries to hit the shot. Nothing as of yet. Turns the corner. Spraying him down with the drum gun. The storm at his back. He's only got one direction he can go, and that is forward. He breaks the wall. Looking to reload this double barrel. We know how lethal this can be as he moves close. There's the shot on the Tfue. Cease with the trade. 8 now left as everyone's pushing forward. Cease gets dropped by Bizzle. 7 players left. They're on the edge of this tower. One falls. There goes Sofa as he took a tumble. Poach down low, playing the low ground. Triz trying to pop this big shield. These are our final players left. All the weeks of competition leading to this point. 6 players remaining. Marksman with the most health drops on down. That's actually Poach, who I believe is spraying at him right now. Marksman could have a big game on his hands. He's had a pretty quiet day up to this point, but this could solve it all right here. One more limb would guarantee him another point as well. He doesn't have a lot of materials. He's using them sparingly. One player in the house, that's Poach. You got Coop Tree all the way up top. Spray down coming in. Poach with another limb. He's now at 3, which will earn him another point. Could Poach be making a sneaky move? Oh! Goes through the doors. He closes it. Marksman sneaks on in. That's another point. He's down to just 12 HP. Only gets a quick little tag there. Top 3 now. Coop Train, Triz, and Ghost Bizzle. This is it. Remember, Victory Royale is a $25,000 prize. Coop Train has bandages. He's playing the high ground. Triz couldn't have less HP. I'm wondering if Coop Train knows this. He's trying to make a bounce pad play. Nothing as of yet. Coop Train trying to keep this high ground. He flies into the storm. He'll die to the storm. 1 versus 1. Coop Train from the high ground dropping on down. This is it. The final zone is closing. Who will win the $25,000? Here he goes. He's got 1 layer on him. Will it be a heel off? No, he gets in his face. Oh my God! Ghost Bizzle. $25,000 richer. You thought he had it. You thought he had it, but here it is from Ghost Bizzle's perspective. How weak was he? How weak was he? Oh no, this could be heartbreaking. This could be heartbreaking. 26 left. That was 5 elims and a Victory Royale. That'll put him with a nice 5-point gain right there and $25,000. I'll tell you right now, Ghost Bizzle just made himself a hell of a lot richer.
Absolutely incredible finish there. The 7 games. I need it to be more, Courage, to be quite honest with you. It's I just can't get enough of this. Today has been a fantastic day.